JJ, there was that stretch to start the fourth quarter, and I think in about 5 minutes, LeBron had 6 assists and almost a seventh when DeAndre tipped it back in. What were you seeing from him as he kind of grew in comfort quickly in the game, and just the DeAndre and LeRae reacting? They hadn't played with him before, right? And he's kind of setting them up for buckets. What did you see from that, and how did that typify his night?
Just thought he played with the right spirit, very unselfish all night. Was a willing passer, didn't force it, took his drives and his shots when they were there. There's the defense is going to pay attention to him, particularly when he has the ball in the post, particularly when he's putting pressure on the rim. And I just thought he made a lot of great decisions tonight. Really good to have him back. And it was a weird, not a weird game, but it was a game that we kind of expected in terms of their movement and their shooting. This is a team that has scored over 150 points twice in the last 5 games going into tonight. Obviously one of those was a double OT game, but they can really score the basketball. And they're a different team to guard because of how much they run off-ball actions. And, Markkanen is a fantastic player. You see him play in person, you game plan for him, and you do everything you can, and he doesn't get tired, and he scores 31. It's a tough team to guard, but I thought that's where we won the game. We challenged the guys at halftime. They had 71. It was 16 over what was the expected score. They made some tough shots in the first half, but the challenge was to guard. And up until the last 3.5 minutes, we held them to 36 for that half. So that's a credit to the entire group. And then you brought up the passing to Jake and DeAndre, but I thought during that run to end the third, start the fourth, it was Smart, it was Jake, it was Jackson, it was Gabe hitting a couple big threes. Like our 4 guys off the bench really helped us during that stretch.
What was better defensively in the second half? Like what was the adjustment, if any, and how did kind of LeBron?
I thought we were more physical. I thought the cadence of what they were trying to do, we started pattern recognizing a little bit, but the physicality was where it started, and we started honoring the game plan. Like we did to start the game. They made some shots, and we just kind of overreacted. It's honestly very similar to the ways that Golden State bends you, where you're so concerned with them making jump shots that you just start making up rules, and all of a sudden there's a rip slip, and all of a sudden there's a layup, and all of a sudden there's a miscommunication. And I thought when we started the second half, they made some shots, but again, those were tough contested shots, and then we got into a nice rhythm defensively of getting stops.
JJ, you've spent a lot of time over these last 14 games talking about your team's energy and your team's spirit together in the way that, and obviously when you add a piece as big as LeBron, like it does sort of change the overall recipe. How did you feel about like the intangible sort of energy and attitude of your group tonight? And how did you feel it kind of like, I don't know if crescendo's the right word, but like kind of rise, throughout the game? Sorry, I haven't taken music in a while.
After the game, just waiting on the guys to get back to the locker room, I think the word we were using as a coaching staff was our poise as a group. Not overreacting, not pulling apart, problem solving, all that stuff in real time, and just continuing to play. And that at times was missing last year. And for us to get that on the first night was really good. Doesn't mean we're going to be perfect. It doesn't mean again, it goes back to the farmer thing. You got to water this thing every day. So, but it's good to see first game back with everybody healthy, just a collective spirit, a collective pull, all in the right direction. It was good.
JJ, I know this was his first game for LeBron, but how long do you think it'll take him to get back into his peak condition? You guys have the next 4 days off before you can start playing again. Do you think it's going to take him a while? How was he feeling out there? Was he feeling gas, worn out, tired?
I thought it was better than expected. He was good. We wanted to keep him around 28. He played 29, 37, and he would have been able to finish the game had we needed him. So I thought it was better than expected. But everybody's different. I don't expect him getting into peak shape or LeBron shape. I don't expect it to take long.
JJ, you mentioned this in one of your first answers, but it seemed like LeBron starts to find his we talk about scoring rhythm. Seemed like he found a passing rhythm. Kind of maybe that late first, early second, playing out of the post. How much of that element can you guys just, I guess, add or implement to the offense, and what can that do for you guys, just LeBron in the post? And
Yeah, I mean, we feel really comfortable with both LeBron and Luka in the post. I think DA is like a flasher to that restricted area, is a good outlet for us because he's got such good touch. We got a lob to him in the first half when he was in the dunker, but I think he brings another dynamic in our post game as like a, we got the primary option, the guy with the ball, we got all our kick out stuff, but then he brings that third option in that sort of like mid paint area. He does that on his rolls too, in the pocket, whether it's a blitz or whether it's drop coverage. But we're going to post those guys. We like the ball with them, or we like having the ball with them either in the post or at the elbow. They're good decision makers, and they're going to generate good shots for us.
Reminder, next up for the Lakers, few days off. Lakers reporter joining us from Crypto.com Arena. It's got to be a vibe down there, Michael.
Yeah, some excitement certainly, guys, to witness yet another piece of history as LeBron will become the first player to set foot on a floor like this in a 23rd NBA season. He's been warming up behind me for the last couple of minutes. Looks like a normal LeBron warm-up. Obviously, he had a good practice the other day with the Lakers, and going back to last week practicing with the G League team, the South Bay Lakers. So JJ, I think, had a pretty good idea that LeBron was going to play when we spoke to him a few moments ago. Wasn't official yet. I think they did want to wait just until LeBron literally got out here on the floor until they made that confirmation. So here's JJ talking just about kind of how it's been going with LeBron, what he saw from him in practice, and how he thinks that could apply to the game tonight.
Never in my life, since I started playing the game of basketball, have I ever not started a season in my life. So, it's been a mind test, but I'm built for it, and just been putting in the work, both mentally and physically, and just trying to get myself ready to rejoin the team.
Trending in the right direction. Probably just going to have to be a game time decision, but he's trending in the right direction.
What were you able to see from him in practice? And Austin had talked about how LeBron was sitting and watching, and kind of, since he can do everything, knowing the ways that he's going to best be able to integrate into it. But just wondered if you had any initial feedback from seeing how he looked at the group at practice.
Yeah, I mean, I got asked that yesterday. I thought he looked great. He's smart enough and enough carryover from last year, both with personnel and with our schemes, that I think it'll be easy for him to be integrated right away.
I'm a ball player. The best thing about me and the way I built my game over my whole life, and the coaches since I was in Little League, I've never had a position. Spo always just say, positionless basketball, be positionless. There's not one team, one club in the world that I can't fit in and play for. I can do everything on the floor, so whatever this team needs me to do and more, I can do it when I'm back to myself.
Well, what I was happy to see, Geeter, is that usually I wrap around JJ, but why would we do that when we can have LeBron freaking James